Well, Ahmad Mustafa is digital editor-in-chief at Sky News Arabia, joins us now from Abu Dhabi. Welcome to you, Ahmad Mustafa. What is going on here? Is this about Saudi and others flexing their muscles? How deep is the enmity towards the Qataris?
I don't think it's flexing muscles. This has been going on for almost 20 years now. It didn't start on Monday, 5th of June. Yes, this is the severe measure taken by the three countries and other Arab countries and other Asian countries was the last resort these countries has to come to after Qatar ignored not only many messages, but also many agreements they signed to. We remember in April 2014, the Kuwaiti mediation, which is another Gulf Cooperation Council country, mediated between Saudi, Emirates and Bahrain and Qatar, and they committed to mainly stopping the support, financial and other support to Islamic militants, terrorist groups, Muslim Brotherhood, and stop anything that interferes with the national security of the other countries of the Gulf Cooperation Council. And they never delivered on that. And I'm sure in the last few months they had many more messages that they haven't done anything, actually. They kept on going with their policies, and I think almost everybody in the world agrees that there is somehow support coming from Doha to many militant groups, not least the Muslim Brotherhood, which is mainly hosted in Doha.
I suppose anybody who perhaps looked at this and thought this is something that's purely happening at a high governmental level, diplomatic tussles going on, well, they can forget that, can't they? Because, I mean, there we're reading that anybody expressing sympathy towards Qatar threatened in the UAE with up to 15 years in prison, entry barred to Qataris. I mean, these are practical measures that will affect ordinary people in the Gulf.
Just to mention, the law here is regulating the social media and the internet even more than in UK. And this is nothing different. There is no, you wouldn't say, toughening the laws or anything. I mean, if somebody labeled somebody on Snapchat or Twitter, it would get 3 years. And this happened in the last couple of years. We have seen some sentences even against Emiratis, against foreigners, expats living here. I mean, this is part of the regulation. This is a law. So it's nothing that the 15 years is just the maximum, and it never happened.
Ahmed, for people in the UK who were aware that the Qataris have very substantial holdings in this country, financially, property, airlines, all the rest of it, what should they be taking away from this? I mean, for many of them, it was the first time they realised that there was a potential question mark hanging over Qatar, or at least a question mark that's been placed there by other Arab states. It's come as news to them.
It might be, but I'm sure it's not for the authorities. The authorities in the UK have been getting this message from this region for a long time, for a few years. Actually, even before this government and before the government of David Cameron, before even the Conservatives were in power. And it's a simple message. I mean, you shouldn't tolerate hate speech, you shouldn't tolerate Muslim militancy, and the differentiation between so-called moderate Islamists and militant Islamists is not true, is not right, is wrong. And actually, that's what we have been seeing in UK itself. And do you remember Manchester and the link with the Libyans? And all these militant groups in Libya were funded by Qatar, supported by Qatar. And that's what these countries here, not only in the Gulf, but in the wider Arab world, which has suffered from this, are taking these measures because the Qataris are not listening. They say they are willing to come to table and discuss. They have discussed before. They have agreed. They have promised. They have even signed agreements to do that, to stop funding and hosting militants, and they never did.
Ahmad Mustafa, digital editor-in-chief at Sky News Arabia. Appreciate your time. Thanks very much.